3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the
Hello.
Hallmark channel. I'm Chris.
I'm Laura.
And this week we are here to review 2015's The Spruces and the Pines. We've got the Montagues and the Capulets. We've got the Hatfields and the McCoys. And now we've got the Spruces and the Pines. And in case you're wondering, yes, that refers to their last names. It's not two people who have interests in two different trees. These are their last fucking names, the Spruces and the Pines. So that's what we're going to
get. What the hell are the odds?
Mr. and Mrs. Spruce and Mr. and Mrs. Pine. So before we jump into that, let's talk a little bit about the holidays. Laura, do you have a question for me?
I do have a question for you. I weren't looking for it because I knew I was changing my question as I was thinking. I have a question for you. And I don't think I've asked this one before. But do you prefer a spruce or a pine?
Can I tell you, I do not know the difference between a spruce and a pine. Like or fir or whatever. That's going to be.
Couldn't tell you.
Maybe that's going to be the sequel to this movie. Like the firs move in, and
then dude,
like a trifecta of a. So I don't know. I just want a live. I just like a live tree. I've always been raised on a live tree. So as long as it's a live
tree.
Yeah. Do you have a preference?
I love the smell of a live tree. I love that I love seeing a real tree. There's something about visually when you can see something that's like real that just, I don't know, it tingles. Like it makes you feel like Christmassy in a way, where it's everything's real, everything's plush, everything's, that scent, that smell. I don't know. But I always have artificial trees. Not always, but for the most part, it's been an artificial tree, mainly because I have ornaments that are just too heavy for real trees.
Right.
And now I have cats. So
now, did you learn the hard way with that? Like did you get a live tree at some point and then the cats screwed it up?
No, so with live trees, when I was growing up and we started having like my mom just was upset that she couldn't have all of the nicer ornaments on the tree, all of these gorgeous ornaments. They were just so heavy. And we weren't kids anymore. So we were more responsible around a Christmas tree. We were going to go running past it and knock it over and break all the ornaments. So she wanted like something that could actually hold up these delicate, beautiful ornaments. And I have not tried a live tree with my cats yet, but they have like the little ones. And I want to get one for my cats around, next Christmas and see what they do with it, just to see. Because if I can get them to play with that tree, like no decorations, just a little live tree, and then have my Christmas tree decorated and they don't touch that would be great.
Yeah, it sounds like a solid strategy. When you get your tree, do you go with the like the green fake tree, or do you go with like they sell the white ones or the silver ones?
No, green. Yeah. We've got like a 6-foot tree.
Oh wow.
Green tree. Yeah. I would love an 8-foot. Honestly, I want it right up to the ceiling.
Now, the real question is, have you ever snipped off branches from a tree and poured hot water over it and drank pine needle tea?
No, because why would I do that? That's a crazy idea, Chris.
I could have sworn that was fake. When I watched them do that, I was like, no, this can't possibly be a thing. And then you looked it up.
The same thing. I was like, bullshit. But no, pine needle tea is a real thing, and apparently it's popular in Korea, and it's popular a lot of places. There are blogs and everything about people saying like, oh, young white pine is the best flavor, but then other people are like, no, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm like, well, obviously it's a taste bud, but like there's a whole thing where this is a real tea and is good, and apparently does taste like Christmas in a cup. So we're gonna have to get some
Christmas in a cup. That's what he said, right? Tastes like Christmas in a cup. It just seems to me it would taste like
pine,
almost too earthy. Like it would taste too I don't want to drink a Christmas tree. Like, it just seems like it would taste funky. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like there'd be like a sappy syrupiness to it
Yes.
that would be unpleasant,
Yeah.
you know? Like there's one thing with maple syrup that's delicious, but like pine sap just sounds awful. And maybe there's a difference between like pine needles where it's just the needles and not the actual branch that like are steeped in the hot water for tea. But she
Yeah.
just took like a
Yeah.
branch off of her. She
And
didn't even steep it. She just put it in the hot water and said, drink. No
drink.
steeping.
That guy asked no questions. He was just like, okay.
Yeah.
With his Texas accent. That's where he was from, right? His character was from Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a note about that because I was like, this is New England. What the fuck is that accent from?
Yeah.
But
And
then
what
I
is,
left a bracket on the end of my note with a
yeah.
space because I was like, something's gonna come up where it's gonna explain his accent.
Well, he mentions he's from Texas. So I think it's
Mhm.
just that he's visiting his family from out of town to like work on the farm, was my guess.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Because he
So
wants to take over the farm.
well, yes, although that makes it seem more like nefarious than it actually. I think he's being like given, right? Isn't
Right.
the guy just going to pass
Yes.
on? Yeah. He's
Correct.
not
Yeah.
the antagonist. So
No. No. The way I said it made it sound
yeah.
very evil. No.
Yes. But he's not, no one's evil really, except no one's evil. This is
Yeah.
I mean,
Mr. Spruce is a bit of a dick.
he's a dick, but they're all just so pathetic. I think
Mm.
that was the big word that I was like, really? Well, let's
Yeah,
let's
good
just
point.
get into it here.
Yeah, we got to get into this movie.
So 2017, Spruces and the Pines with a 6.0 out of 10 on imdb.com, directed by John Stimpson and written by Marcy Holland and Lynn Woodward, starring Jonna Walsh and Nick Ballard as Julie Pine and Rick Spruce. So the writer of this movie, Marcy Holland, I'm pulling up here. Okay. So she wrote Matchmaker Mystery, The Art of the Kill. She wrote Jingle Bell Bride, another Psycho movie, Psycho Escort, which I wonder if that's similar to the Psycho Stripper movie. That
yeah, Psycho Escort is probably more like upper Manhattan, you know.
Yeah,
a little classier.
It says Diane is not ready to date, but also does not want to attend a work event alone. Okay. Her sister suggests a rent-a-date where she can hire a fake boyfriend. Soon it becomes evident that she has rented a liar with a disturbing past.
Okay, I would totally watch that movie.
Psycho Escort.
I would totally watch that movie.
Another movie. Did I kill my mother? Question mark. Which and then the best one, the one I think we should maybe take a sidebar and review. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Let me see if it's got a tagline first before I actually read it for you. Okay, ready? Yeah. Trying to survive a family Christmas. This is the premise. Trying to survive the family Christmas, Cody makes a wish to be alone, which ends up backfiring when a shark manifests and kills his entire family. So this is a Christmas time shark movie. What do you think the title is?
Jingle Bell Jaws?
No, but you got the Jaws part right.
No shit. Oh.
Jaws part right. Jaws is part of the title. It's the second word of the title.
Oh.
Come on, play on words, Christmas.
I got nothing,
What
dude.
does Jaws rhyme with? Oh, ready for this? Santa Jaws. You
said what does Jaws rhyme with? And I was thinking claws. I'm like, that's so stupid. Claws Jaws? I'm an idiot.
So the picture is a shark with a little Santa hat CGI'd on top of it.
I spit so hard, I laughed so hard I spit.
Yep.
Santa
Jaws. Rated PG, about a shark that murders an entire kid's family.
Only PG?
Only PG.
Huh.
So we may have to take a sidebar. Maybe don't even record it. Maybe just watch that one for fun. But so
yeah, no, I think that would be a good summertime special for sure. For sure. Maybe we can get Dan to come on.
There you go. So from the writer of Spruces and the Pines comes Santa Jaws.
Santa Jaws.
So
jump.
So this movie. So we've got Julie, Julie Pine, and she is coming home to her family's Christmas tree farm to
Yep.
spend time with her dad. We learn it's been the 1-year anniversary of her mother's death.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know how mom died?
No, but I believe it was from some sort of illness.
Okay.
Because there's the letters later on. So it wasn't like a sudden thing. Like she knew she was going.
Okay.
I think, unless she's a morbid person, which like props to you because I'm morbid too. And she like wrote out these letters ahead of time in the just in case.
Yeah. Because when they eventually get read later, she's like, "If you're reading this, I'm already dead," or something like that. It wasn't.
Yeah, right. Like if you're reading this, I'm gone, and it's like that's a weird thing to like keep with your Christmas stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So she comes home and she's riding in a cab, and the Uber driver or whoever pulls her up to the Christmas tree farm, and without the guy even saying anything, she goes, "I know what you're thinking. 2 Christmas tree stores next to each other. It's a long story." And he's like, "All right, just get the fuck out." Like
He
he
was
could
like,
care
I
less.
don't care.
And he most definitely was not thinking 2 Christmas tree stores right next to each other. Could not have cared less.
No, I bet he couldn't even tell the difference because this set made it, I mean, okay, cool, but like it literally looks like they filmed on the same Christmas tree farm, just from different angles of like the farm. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
they shot it from the back for when they were doing the spruces, and then from the front when they were doing the pines, and then just because it's the same build, it looks like the same building. But
You're
like, I mean, that's great for like the location scout, right? Like he found a good spot. Like we could just film it from here and then film it from there, and like one location, we're done.
you're probably not too far off. I'd be willing to bet. Um, I wrote down they don't see the irony in their own last names.
They don't
Like,
even make a mention of that.
no, there's no. I figured that'd be an easy layup joke.
They don't even say like that's why we went into the business. Like Grandpa so and so,
Grandpa
like
Spruce.
Grandpa Spruce was like gonna make a Christmas tree farm, or like his real name was like Spruczynski, but like he
Oh, there you
started selling
go.
Christmas trees, so then he was like, well, let's just call it Spruce, and then like eventually the name got changed over time legally on documents. That happens all the time, you know,
Yes.
especially in New England. Like,
Spruczynski.
well, I don't know, Spruzik or something. Yeah, it could have been anything.
Yeah, so their names very, I guess, unironically are Spruce and Pine, and they own these rival Christmas tree shops. And we know that there's some sort of blood feud that's going on between the two of them, but we don't know the nature of that feud other than they really do not like each other.
I mean, and you nailed it too with the whole Romeo and Juliet thing. Like it really felt like Capulet and Montague. Like, if I meet you in the streets, dude, we throwing down.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just friendly competition. Like
No.
we get the sense that these people really do not like each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we meet a few other side characters here. We meet Bear.
I love Bear.
Me too. I looked him up. He has not done anything.
I know. I looked him up too because I wanted to see what else he did. I was like, I would watch everything this guy does.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
Super convincing.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought he was a really good actor, actually.
He's a natural. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Usually the performances in these movies are very overdone and very over the top.
Yep.
He was like he seemed like he was in a regular movie.
Yeah. He felt like he's Julie's like friend, right? Because like he works on the farm too, so obviously he knows the family.
Yes.
And like, but you get the sense that like he's your friend too. Like if you met this actor in real life,
yeah,
that he would be your friend too.
Yeah,
like he's just so wholesome. I love him.
I bet he was like, he must have been a director's friend or a producer's friend because he hasn't done anything since, so I'm assuming he did the movie as a favor.
Yeah.
But
good get though. I mean, this guy's clearly he's got the chops, you know? Yeah.
He was great. I have down here, I like Bear. And then we meet the guy who comes to visit, Rick Spruce. And we first meet him when he is sort of clumsily tying a tree to the top of a car. And
Yeah.
Julie, why is Julie over there? She's got to drop
So
cookies off, right?
yeah, she got convinced by the local baker to make the stop at the Spruces farm as well,
Oh, right.
because her truck was broken down, so she couldn't make the delivery up to the farm. So
Yeah.
since Martha was there and she's going to go back home, it's right next door, could you please drop it off? Martha, I think, is a little bit of a matchmaker.
Mm.
I think she knew if she sent Julie over there that she might meet Rick.
But we also find out later that she's got the hots for Rick Spruce, doesn't she?
Who, Martha?
The baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the hots for him. She has the hots for his
Oh,
dad.
yes, I'm sorry, not Rick Spruce. Who's the sorry, who's Papa Spruce? What's his
Papa
name?
Spruce.
Papa Spruce.
We're calling him Papa Spruce.
Like the Smurfs.
Totally.
Well, she does have the hots for Papa Spruce, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which would explain how she knows that Rick's in town.
Right.
Right. So like if she's hanging out with Papa Spruce or whatever, and then she sees like Ricky Spruce, she's like, okay. And then Julie comes to town. She's like, you know what? You and him, and then maybe I could get in there with the dad.
Yeah. Maybe it's her grand plan.
I think so. Yeah.
I wrote down here that there was a rock, paper, scissors scene in the car. Did you catch this?
Yes.
Gonna go in and drop the stuff off.
Yep.
So they argue back and forth. Bear's like, I don't want to go. And she's like, well, I don't want to go. And then they're like, all right, let's do rock, paper, scissor. They do the rock, paper, scissor. And then he loses, right?
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I don't want to go. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go. What was the point of the rock, paper, scissors scene?
I have no idea, but it was good banter.
I guess maybe that.
And in most Hallmark movies, the banter is bad. And this movie actually had pretty decent banter.
Yeah.
It's believable. So
that is true. That is true.
I also wonder, like, did they include the rock, paper, scissors thing because it's regional, like how you do rock, paper, scissors? Like, I think the UK does scissors, paper, rock.
Really?
And yeah, there's like some people they don't do this when they do rock, paper, scissors. Like they do something else, and then they don't do rock, paper, scissors, shoot. They'll do like rock, paper, scissors.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like there's like a weird regional thing. So it might have just been like a way to be like, we're really in New England, guys. Like we knew our shit. Or that is they did it the New England way. So like,
or is it to show? Do you think it's just to show the brother sister like, or no, they're not brother sister, just the buddy banter between the two?
Probably that.
Just to show that
probably
that.
I'm probably overthinking it way
like
too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go with that. No, I think you're right.
And so this is the part where Rick is tying the tree to the car, and Julie goes over and helps him. And this is a movie where all problems get solved extremely easily with one step. I'll talk more about that later. But so he can't get it in. Then she's like, oh, all you got to do is loop and then tuck it under and you're good. And he says, oh, okay, great. And then it's revealed that he is a spruce. We think he's just some guy buying a tree, but we find out he's actually working there and he's tying it to the car of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And this sort of starts the domino effect of all hell breaking loose in this movie. And then we get the big metaphorical speech because Rick sells somebody the wrong tree, right?
Yeah.
They paid for something else, but he gave him a fir. I think that's what happened. They paid for a spruce, but he gave him a fir. Mm-hmm. And then Papa Spruce goes, listen, Rick, you got to learn that a fir is just a pine. It's weak and it folds under pressure. And you got to know the difference between a spruce and a pine.
Which is like, it's a fucking tree.
Oh, yeah. But you know, the writer was like, oh, shit. Like after he wrote that scene.
Metaphor.
A lot of Salvation Army in this movie, by the way. I also have written down. There's like 3 or 4 scenes of good old Santa ringing the Salvation Army bell.
Yes. And I was a little like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. And I tried to look up if Hallmark had some sort of a, because you remember what movie did we watch where they like would zoom in on Folger stuff?
Yeah, that was
Was
oh
that
crap, the one where she like
Ice
traveled
Sculpture,
from LA. No, it was when the
Ice
one
Sculpture Christmas?
she traveled from LA and then Mariah Carey was she did that one. It was the Mariah Carey one.
Oh, I forget the name of it now, but
Jingly Christmas or something. I don't know.
yeah. What's up? Yeah. Okay. Hang on, I'm just gonna pause the recording real quick. Yeah, so I forget the name of the Mariah Carey movie, but yes, that was the one that it was in.
Yep.
So
he was so pushy.
Rick
was like pushing some random passerby to like donate money.
Oh, that's right. And then the guy was like, "You're good." What did he say?
No, I don't know. He was just like pressuring him into it though.
Oh yeah,
I would not be attracted to this person at all.
No, didn't he say something about the guy's coat? He was like, "Oh, you got a nice coat on," or blah, blah, blah. Didn't he say something about his outfit?
He
and
probably
the guy was
did.
Like, "You're good." It was some kind of compliment where the
probably.
guy, yeah. So at this point, had they actually gone out yet for coffee, or are we not there yet?
I think they did. I think they accidentally met up for coffee, kind of, sort of, maybe.
Now, how did they accidentally wind up together?
So
did they bump into each other downtown, or?
Yeah, it was like right outside the coffee shop.
Oh,
yeah, right outside of Martha's little bakery coffee shop thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So because this wasn't like the first time though. This was like the second time.
Oh.
Or was it the first time?
I can't remember because I can't remember at what point he reveals that he's a spruce.
It's after the Salvation Army pushy
right
to donate thing. So yeah.
Because she has a mild panic attack when he reveals
she does. And I really like the music that they played. Did you notice that?
I did not.
It was like really adorable because like every time I liked this scene, the way it was shot, and I kind of liked the way it was directed. And no, I mean, I really liked the way it was directed, but I kind of liked the dialogue too in this. So they're like walking down the sidewalk from the Salvation thing, and they're like walking, and it's like some upbeat music kind of a thing. And then the minute she like stops and faces him, she's like, the music stops too.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I do remember this actually.
And they do that a couple times, like, and it's like this like long shot as they're like walking forward, and then they stop, and they walk forward, and then they stop, and I loved it.
Yes, I do remember that now. And then the prank war starts, right?
Yeah. Well, so we find out that Julie finds out that Rick is a spruce, and that she's a pine, and she's like, we can't. Wow, it'll never work.
It'll never work over a Christmas tree shop. It's
oh, he doesn't understand. So I don't know if you saw this too, but like he doesn't understand why they have this grudge, and I'm like, you're Texan, you should understand why people have grudges. Like I don't know.
Well, I guess he's sort of like an outsider to the whole thing, right? Because he's just sort of like, he doesn't live there, so he didn't really. But then again, I'm assuming his uncle or his dad or whoever the fuck would have told him about it, right? Papa Spruce would have let him in on the information. Because someone had to have asked, because Papa Spruce is he has not been on a date, right? In like 35 years?
Probably longer, yeah.
Like that? Like no one's asked Papa Spruce why he's not interested in going out or somebody or... Nope, no one cares.
Nobody's asked. Nobody cares. Nobody's trying to hook him up with anybody.
Nobody.
Because he's, get this, pining away.
Oh, son of a bitch. Good one.
I was like,
that's what they should have.
That part of it? Yeah, pining away. Or pining for Christmas. Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
Yep.
They should have.
Pining for Christmas. So at that point, they realize they can't really be together. And I have written down as my next note, although I think I might be jumping ahead, that they go into the prank war. And because so Christmas.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas season's picking up. And they do things such as silly stringing over the sign to the entrance.
Yeah, pretty juvenile shit.
Yeah, and then you see that they're frantically changing the prices on their Christmas trees, like 68, and then the other guy goes 67, and then it goes
Yeah.
66.
I thought that was a price war to like beat out the customer, like to get the customers to come
Oh,
over.
it was definitely a price, but I was like, how low is this going to go? Like
Right?
how
There's
low?
only there is a bottom line where you won't be
Yeah.
able to make any profit.
Now the Spruces place sells food, right? But the
Yes.
Pines only sells Christmas trees.
No, but they get the deliveries from the
Oh, they just
bakery too.
that
So
other
do
place?
they also sell like brownies and cakes and things?
Oh,
They sell hot chocolate.
they sell hot chocolate.
They sell hot chocolate. For
Okay.
sure they sell hot chocolate.
Okay. So they sell because I
Yeah.
remember the Spruce place has all the nice tables on the inside, and there's people walking around sitting. And I remember
Right. Oh
thinking,
wait, they sell the hot chocolate. Yeah, the Spruces sell the
yeah,
hot chocolate.
because I remember thinking I'll go to the Spruce Farm every day.
Yeah,
And then
right?
go to the Pine Farm if I have
Yeah.
to. Spruce Farm is nicer. It's got a place to sit down and chill and eat and have a hot chocolate while you're there too.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
like shop for all like little tchotchke things too.
yeah.
Yeah. Did the Pines not have anything?
I think the Pines just had trees, didn't they?
Ah,
Because he had a beat. Like I remember in the
I
beginning,
really
they
can't remember
established that
now.
he's more old school, right? He has that piece of shit cash register, and he's like, if it's broke, don't fix it when it's clearly broke.
Yeah, right.
So I think they just have like the old cash register and like the old charm of the place. I don't think they have much more going for them.
That's troubling considering that the Spruce Farm, their competitors, are the first stop on the way from like the major highway, then, right? Because if she's coming into town
Yeah.
and she's taking a cab, she's probably taking a train or a bus or a plane or something, right?
Yes.
And so to get to the Pine Farm, you have to come past the Spruce Farm first.
Good point.
So I feel like the Spruce Farm has got the better traffic.
Good point.
Anyway, like why would you even bother going to the Pine Farm unless you just specifically want a pine?
Unless you want to. Well, okay. So the Spruce Farm does not sell pines at all.
I don't know.
So this is fucked. So they're called the Spruce Farm. So they
Yeah.
only sell spruces.
I don't know.
No, they don't, because Rick got it wrong, and Rick sold
Right.
somebody but okay, so this is all sorts of jumbled because so he sold a fir
Yeah.
accidentally, and then
Right.
Papa Spruce was like, furs suck, they're weak. Like, why did he sell them then?
I wanted to know that too. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's just like a supply, like you would just have all the options available, right?
Yeah.
Like any store would have like alternate options. They wouldn't just sell like one item. They'd have like different
Yes.
at price point, like different price points and stuff. And like
Yeah.
I guess when you're in front of the customer who's like, but I wanted a spruce, I paid for a spruce, and then the other people are like, your customers fuck up, so your employees fuck up, so you're like, ah, those other trees are crap. These people wanted spruces, the best tree. I don't know. Like it just reeked of like customer service braggadocio to me,
Yeah. And then we get the ultimate prank, which is a Christmas tree hung upside down, fully decorated.
Yep.
And she knew what was up, Julie Pine. She opens
Yeah.
the barn door and she sees it, and she gives one of the like, oh, the old upside down Christmas tree.
And then just like, okay.
Yeah, which like I don't get that prank. Don't you just clip it and then drag it out, throw it away?
Right. I don't know.
Their own Christmas tree.
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
so they wasted one of their own trees. Or is the prank that they decorated it with bulbs so you can't just cut it because then you get glass all over the floor of your.
That might be
You
it.
gotta
Yeah.
undecorate it.
I mean, these pranks are like pranks in like name only, I think,
Yeah.
It's not really, there's not much thought put into them.
No.
They're cute though, because we do get to see like a cute little montage of them kind of like,
Formulating them.
yeah, and coming and like sneaking around and stuff. And Holly and Bear we find out
Yeah.
through this like pranking thing.
Yes. And we're jumping way ahead here, but in one of the raciest scenes in a Hallmark movie,
No.
we find them about to round second base behind some hay bales. Like
what?
I was like, what is happening here? Like I didn't even believe what I was seeing.
I love that they stopped for gossip though.
Yeah. Because the whole time so I think I'm all the events of this movie are all jumbled, but I know there's a kiss between Julie and Rick, and Bear sees it, and he's like, "Oh no, 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 no!" Like he's like, "No, this can't be happening." And then, about 5 minutes later, you see this. It's a shot of a barn, and they're panning around the hay bales, and you hear giggling and rustling.
Yep.
And then two messy heads pop up out of the hay bale, and it's the elf who works at the spruce farm and Bear. And it was actually smart writing because they said it was okay because they're employees. They don't actually belong to the family.
Yeah, so they don't belong to the feud. So they're kind of like, they're adorable. They're just like these outside people who, but are still like hiding the fact that they're dating.
Well, yeah, because I think like they
is that their kink?
Oh, is that maybe they pretend to be the other family.
Yeah, like is that like their thing? Like, does that make it spicier for them that they have to like hide around and stuff?
Maybe.
I bet it would.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think if someone found out, they'd be all pissed because they could like reveal trade secrets, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they could like, they're gonna price point their furs at whatever next week or whatever.
Yeah.
Was this before or after Bear ships the coal to the spruce farm?
That was after.
Okay.
Yeah, because the coal is like one of the first things in the prank war. Yeah.
And then this is a good prank. No, the coal gets sent to the Pines, and the Bear sends the gift to Rick.
Yes.
It's just a bag of batteries and says gift not included.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty good.
Super adorable. So we find out that Rick, I have this line and I don't remember where it was from, but it's one of Rick's lines. And
I wonder if we have the same one. I bet.
Is it the coffee line?
Yes.
It's such a good line.
Is it I don't like? Does it start with I don't
like?
Yes.
Do you want to do the honors of?
Sure. I don't like coffee, but I do like you.
Listen, it was a good line. It was such a good line.
Oh.
It was like the emotion that he poured into it, because Julie's over here being like, we can't date. This is ridiculous. We can just keep meeting for coffee or whatever, I guess. And then he says, I don't really like coffee,
but I do like you. Which I call bullshit on, because he doesn't like coffee, but he likes pine needle tea.
Yeah, right. Of course, does he really like it, or is he just trying to be like, I like this girl, I'll say anything?
No, that's true. Yeah, maybe he was just sucking it down. Maybe it tasted awful. And he's like,
Christmas in a cup.
It's like Christmas.
Great, wonderful.
And he's,
So we find out that Julie, there was like this weird gazebo thing that like was supposed to be some plot point, I guess. But we find out that Julie and her dad were Julie's mom and her dad were supposed to get married at this gazebo around in the winter.
Okay.
Right. And then there was a blizzard, so they couldn't get married in the gazebo, and they had to get married like right away. And they got married at like the barn or something.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they were referencing the blizzard of 78.
Oh, geez. I have no idea.
Because, and then when you look at the pictures of that they show later of how Julie's mom and her dad, and then Mr. Papa Spruce, they were all friends, we find out. There's this picture and they're young. and it looks very 70s. And I think they're referencing the blizzard of 78, which again just solidifies that this film company, these writers, everyone knows New England. The blizzard of 78 was like massive. It shut down everything. And the only reason why I know anything about it is because my parents got married right before the blizzard hit and went down to Florida for their honeymoon. And that's when the blizzard hit. Like
Huh.
they were on their honeymoon in Florida, enjoying wonderful weather, while
And they dodged
everyone
the
up
bullet.
in New England was dealing with the blizzard of 78.
I'm looking for filming locations, and it was filmed in Massachusetts
Oh, okay.
at the DJ Hussey Farm in Townsend, Massachusetts, and then the Mistletoe Christmas Tree Farm in Stowe, and was also filmed at a winery in Bolton, Massachusetts.
Oh, interesting.
So it looks like it was in fact filmed on 3 different farms that they probably all spliced.
Interesting.
It was definitely New England. I mean,
yeah, all Christmas tree farms in New England apparently look identical to me.
So because usually they film these places in like Vancouver, or something.
Yeah,
like
right. Yeah, in Canada or something. They
Yeah.
actually shot in Massachusetts.
They're
Well,
shot
good
in
on them.
Yeah. So it's at this point in the role. I'm reading my next note. This point in the movie that we get another great line, where the 2 rival dads meet at somehow they cross paths.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're at the bakery in the morning.
Yes. And they both come in there and they see the other one in there, and sparks start to fly. And there's one, Papa Spruce goes, "If you're going to come in here and you don't think you did anything wrong, then you're guilty as," and Martha jumps in, "cinnamon roll," to like slice off the sin, guilty as sin. And they go for the well, not really. I mean, the Hallmark jugular. He's like, "And you keep that daughter of yours."
Yeah.
I was like, I think we might get a son of a bitch.
They were so angry. Oh my goodness.
Happened.
I like my note here is just, oh my God, the feud. Like, you would think that somebody murdered somebody.
Yes.
Like the amount of vehemence they have towards each other, that they have towards each other, that somebody did something really atrocious.
Yes.
When we find out what actually happened, I get so fucking pissed.
Well, it's not so much. I mean, yes, that's part of it, but also how quickly it is cooled.
Yes, that was
35-year blood feud that just ends like that.
Like nothing.
With
like
a suggestion that could have, like, no one suggested this in 35 years.
Yeah. Right.
So
stupid.
So Rick and Julie go their separate ways with their separate papas.
Yep.
And Rick is like, "Hey, you gotta stop this." And Papa Spruce goes, "I'm gonna die with this feud," or "No, I'm gonna die and this feud's gonna die with me." Like, really? It's a rival Christmas tree farm. You're gonna die with this feud?
Right? Like, come on, dude. Like, you can't move on. You can't move past. You can't at least do something different. You just have to live with this feud 24/7. I don't understand.
I mean, I guess now is a good time as any to talk about what the root of this feud actually is, since we're mentioning it so much.
Yes. So, there's one scene though with the tractor.
I have that down too.
Okay. I just want to make sure we get to it at some point.
No, you go. Go ahead. Talk about the tractor.
Okay. So Rick has this great idea. Now he works at a used car sale lot back in Texas. So he knows how to like sell things and stuff. And that's why he's got all these different ideas for the Christmas tree farm. Yep. So one of those ideas is fixing up this tractor, which I guess he knows how to fix up for no explanation needed. He just knows how to fix up a tractor that nobody has figured out how to fix up.
Yeah, I have that. I have convenient 5 times in a row, because that's what this movie was all about. Like,
yeah,
it was very much so about easy fixes, but this movie really highlighted the
really easy
fixing very complicated problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he fixes it up and he wants to do like hay rides kind of a thing around the Christmas tree farm with like hot chocolate and stuff. And like, that's a great idea. That's going to be super cute, super great for your business.
Yep.
While he's working on this tractor, he is in a tank top outside in a barn where the barn slats are so far apart, we get a lot of light coming through.
Mm-hmm.
This is New England
Mm-hmm.
right before Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
and he is from Texas. There is zero way
Yep.
he is working outside in a fucking tank top.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think this movie really didn't recognize that winter was happening, other than it's at a Christmas tree farm.
And it was interesting because everyone else had like winter clothing. He did not. He definitely looked like he was from Texas. Like his outfit looked very much like what you see in Texas. It was very normal. And he was wearing like double jackets because he clearly didn't have warm, winter weather clothing. Like he has no gloves, he has no scarf, he has no hat. But I'm like, you would be so cold. You would be the most frozen person because you're not used to it. It's one thing if someone from Maine comes down and spends some time in Massachusetts and goes without gloves and a hat and a scarf. Like they're used to the colder climate. He's not. He's used to Texas. How is he? How? I mean, that scene pissed me off so much.
It seemed like it was just a chance to show off that dude's collarbones and shoulders, and that seemed like what it was.
I mean, I wasn't complaining about that, but
it was just, I think it was just a little treat for the people who are interested in looking at it.
Okay,
I think
I'll go with that.
With a Hallmark, I mean, this was a
little
Hallmark
cheesecake
movie.
For us.
A little cheesecake? Did you say?
Yeah.
I mean, this was a Hallmark movie with a pseudo sex scene. So
true.
So yeah, it was. I mean, this was the NC-17 of Hallmark movies.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely.
So yeah, so he breaks or he fixes this broken tractor with ease.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so then we find out the root cause of this feud. And the root cause is that Pine's wife, who has since died, had to choose at some point between Papa Spruce and Papa Pine, and decided to go with Papa Pine, and left Spruce 35 years ago without a girlfriend. So he's probably what, in his mid 60s?
Minimum, yeah.
Minimum. Okay. Let's just say he's at 70. So this happened when he was 40 or 38 roughly. And he
wait, no, the picture showed them being really young. So maybe he is in the 60s. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say he's mid 30s when this happened to him. And after that, he says he's never looked at another woman again. Ever. In 35 years, he's never looked at another woman. They tried to blame it on a crop fire, right? That spread.
Yeah, they said that the feud started because there was a fire somewhere in the, I guess, the midpoint between the two farms.
Yes.
And it like decimated an entire crop.
Yes.
But it happened for both farms.
Yeah.
But each one blames that the other one did it on purpose.
Yeah. So this is another metaphor, right? That the fire started between the two and it spread to both sides, but neither of them were willing to
take any fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so like, I'm so angry at Papa Spruce that I'm like weary, like I'm tired. I'm that angry that I've gotten tired. Like I don't even know how to describe this, Chris. This is like the most ridiculous thing. How do you justify your crush not panning out for an entire feud? Like you burned the bridge between your two oldest friends because she didn't want to date you. And it wasn't even like a Cyrano de Bergerac kind of a thing, right? Where like one of them's writing, like one of them helped the other one get the girl.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like you took credit for not that this happened in Cyrano de Bergerac, but like that would be an interesting plot. Like you took credit for these letters that I wrote her. She fell in love with my letters, but she married you. Like it's not even that. It's just you were in a group of friends and one of your friends decided to marry the other friend.
Yeah, it
Like
sucks.
decided to date for a while and then get married and then
Yeah.
have a whole fucking family with and a whole life with, and you were so caught up in that. Like it just reeks of like, oh, you need so much therapy.
Yes. And
Oh
this,
my
and at this
God.
point, it's pretty clear that this is Papa Spruce's fault.
Yeah.
The Pine has no ownership on this feud
No,
whatsoever.
Papa Pine didn't do anything wrong except be mad at a person who was mad back at him.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. I mean, he's sitting, we see that scene where he's sitting there in front of his fireplace, like looking at old pictures, just weeping. And you're like, you feel so bad for him. And
yeah.
and okay, so here's what drove me nuts too. This is 35 years. This dude is said he's never gonna look at another woman again. And his son or somebody, I think it was Rick, said, "Hey, why don't you get back out there?" And he goes, "Yeah, I guess I could." I was like, "What? What? That's all it took? 35?
Just someone to be like, hey, why don't
No
you
one
date
else
someone?
has said this to you?" It drove me nuts.
I hated it.
The ease with which, like, it would have been so much better if this feud went on way shorter. Like maybe it was 10 years. And maybe Martha, because the feud was so weird, didn't want to profess her feelings. And then finally worked up the courage at the end to be like, let's go out to dinner. And then it eased him into it. This really should have been about Martha, and it should have been between Martha and Papa Spruce. That really should
I really wanted to see that happen too. Like I really wanted that payoff. I really wanted to see Martha pluck up her nerve because she clearly hates confrontation. Right? Like she's clearly, like anytime you see her and anything starts to come up where it's like these two are fighting or whatever, she just gets very like she gets very like, oh God, no. Which would explain why she wouldn't want to take that first step and initiate that contact with Papa Spruce. But like, why that long?
Yes. And why could nobody talk about this? Like, why didn't Pine just be like, look, here's the deal. You know, your mom, he had a thing for her and he hates me now because I married her. Well, like, why is this not known? Why is this deep, dark secret?
Yeah. And why are they always blaming it on this stupid fire? It's like, we never even get to find out how this fire started really, or like anything. I thought for sure that it was going to come out that the mom like created the fire as a way to be like, fuck both of you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like let's start from scratch. Like we both, oh no, we've had a fire. Let's like work together. And like then it didn't happen and it blew up in our face. Like, I don't know, anything, something, anything. We get nothing. We get no explanation about this fire, that they blame this feud on this fire.
Yeah.
Then nobody even like, we don't even get the explanation as to how or what. I'm so aggravated.
You know, as we were, as I was looking up the filming location, I found the first review on IMDb, and it says a modern day Romeo and Juliet. That's the title of the review. A modern day Romeo and Juliet.
God. It's more like the Hatfields and the McCoys, which at least somebody mentioned in the Bear mentions it. Yeah. That the family is more like the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Wait a minute. Do you think that's why she's called Julie? Rick and Julie? Romeo and
off. No way. No
son
way.
Of a bitch. What? I bet that's it. Oh, okay. I bet you that's it.
Okay. All right. Little props to you.
R for Rick and Romeo. J, son of a bitch.
Do you think they really wanted to name him Romeo and they were like, no, like we can't. It's too on the money.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any, I mean, we've watched enough of these movies to know that the names of at least of the men, don't venture too far off of the standard, like Matt and Nick and Joe, and there's no like, absolutely zero, like Romeo will never make an appearance in a,
no.
Yeah. No way. Unless it's like a goofball character or something, but there's no romantic lead who's going to be named Romeo. I highly doubt. Yeah, my final note for this movie was this was a blood feud that ended with one question. Why
Yeah,
didn't you get back out there?
it's so stupid.
Unreal.
That's your last note?
I have, yeah, because at that point I just watched them get together and I'm like, okay, so now they're just going to get together.
I had just a couple of more because the Papa Spruce makes Rick choose.
Oh,
He
right. Yeah.
basically he
Yes, yes, yes.
straight up tells him like, I am not going to give you this farm if you continue to
Right.
see Julie.
Yeah.
And mad props to him for not immediately choosing Julie.
Mm.
He really like is like, whoa, like I really want this farm.
Yep.
I just met this girl. He gives it time. We see him take time to consider it and
Yes.
to think instead of just leaping to, well, then I choose her. Meh. Like he he really takes the time, and I really appreciated that because it seemed
Yes.
more believable, and it gave a little bit more gravitas to the situation where he was really thinking like, this is my whole future, like this is the whole thing that I wanted to do, was have this farm. But then as he thinks more about it, I don't know, you get that sense that like his heart is breaking more and more because he can't imagine not being with Julie,
Right.
which is like, yeah, man, love at first sight. Like I get that, you know? Like he definitely fell hard and fast for her.
Yep.
And she's like resisting it because she's like, no, this is stupid. This is no, we're just not meant to be. Like she
Mhm.
just, it's like she can't allow herself to be happy, which is ridiculous. Eventually they choose each other, obviously,
Of
but like
course.
they have
Now,
that moment where they're really in a bit of turmoil.
yeah, well, like with most Hallmark movies, there's that um, tiny little bit of conflict where they have to make some sort of a choice, and that's usually where it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not conflict that broods throughout. It's usually just fun and jokey and lighthearted. And then there's about 5 minutes where they're like, "Wait, you do want to take that job? You said you didn't." And then they don't talk to each other for 5 minutes, and they're fine.
Yeah.
This is one of the few Hallmark movies where they get to have their cake and eat it too, so to speak. Because usually in these movies they have to choose: do you want
Yeah.
your career or do you want the love?
Yeah.
And in this movie, he's going to inherit the farm, and then he's going to get her.
Yep.
And I
And then
think
she's going to inherit her farm, and then they're going to
correct.
again have the farm be the singular farm that it once was back in the
Right.
70s or something.
So they're going to
Yeah.
work. They're just going to combine.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is adorable. I also have a note here about he one of the parents, and I think it was Papa Pine,
Mm-hmm.
said like something about how they were dating the other, I can't believe you're dating this person. Like I
Mm.
taught you better than
Oh
that.
yes, that was Papa Spruce.
Oh, and I straight up was like,
No.
hate is not a value to be proud of that you passed down. How dare you say, like, he's so like, I thought I taught you better than that. Like, are you seriously telling me that you would have been so proud of her if she inherited your hate?
You
Because
know,
if so, you really need to have some introspection. You really need to have a conversation outside of your fucking trees.
I mean, I think if this were like, um, I think what they're trying to do is just try to make this as divisive as possible and make sure that you um, clearly took the side of this love over this
Mm.
you to say such outlandish and over the top
Well, it
thing.
worked for me
Yeah.
for sure. Cause I was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. I thought I raised you better.
Ugh,
Which is
how
also odd
dare you?
because so was she being raised from a young age to hate the Spruces? Like,
Yes.
was that part of her lessons as a
That's
child? Like, be
kind
kind
of the
to
impression we
others,
get.
say please and thank you, and also fuck the Spruces.
Yep.
Which seems weird because when he says, I thought I taught you better than that, she does not seem to dislike them in the slightest.
No, she just
Very
seems to
personable to them.
understand. And maybe that's because she's, a smart millennial. She's just like, look, I went to college. I'm out in the world. My dad has this weird, stupid feud with this guy, whatever. That's not my issue, you know. And because she doesn't even she seemed like kind of interested in doing like the pranks, back and forth, but
Yeah.
mainly I think because it was just something fun to do with Bear to kill time while they're working.
Yeah.
I mean, she's home on spring or not spring break. She's home on like winter break from school. So she's like, well, yeah, forget it. I'll
Yeah.
go run around and do some dumbass pranks with my friend. Sure.
That's another thing too. This is another movie where they cast way too old for the characters that they're. She says she's home from college.
Yeah, because she's going to school for horticulture.
Horticulture, that's right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is horticulture a graduate degree, or like what do you go to just a regular college for horticulture? Like, was she supposed to be 19 or 20 years old?
No, I think
Going
she's
back to school.
finishing school.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
I think she's at least 24,
Oh, okay.
Maybe 20. I don't know.
Hmm.
I am the last person to ask.
I don't know. Let's see
I
how
have
old
no
she is.
idea.
Let's see how old she is in real life here. Oh, she was born 85, so she's roughly my age. She's 30.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So she was roughly 32 when this movie was filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, shall we score this thing?
Yes.
All right. Again, on our very technical Hallmark holiday movie scorecard.
Our fully scientific process that we have that we completely made up.
We got our 1 point categories, we got our 2 point categories, and we got our 3 point categories. So let's go ahead and score this thing.
Absolutely.
Male lead wears a zip up sweater. I did not see any of that.
No.
I did not give this points, but after your analysis, I'm going to give it points. Character outside in snow with inadequate clothing. He's not.
I gave him 2. Yeah, it's not in snow, but he's clearly cold. There's a couple of points where he's like holding his mug of hot cocoa and his hands are like gripped tight around that cup. And I don't think that was just the actor doing that. I think that was a choice where his hands are cold because he has no gloves.
Yes.
He's from Texas. She even gives him her scarf because he's walking around with just like 2 denim jackets layered on top of each other in New England in the winter.
Oh, Rick. Heart to heart on a porch. I didn't notice one. Was there a heart to heart on a porch?
There were no porches and there was nothing porch equivalent.
Scene set in a boardroom. No,
furthest from a boardroom.
No, no boardrooms at all. Winnie Cooper, Lacey Chabert, or Cameron Candice Bure.
No.
And then no Christmas in the title.
No.
So just 1 point for me for that. So then our 2 pointers. The title of the movie describes the profession of the characters. I gave double points for this.
I gave half points.
Oh, really? Because Spruces and the Pines is so on the nose. The fact that they're called Spruces and Pines and they own Christmas tree stores that sell spruces and pines.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Male or female lead's parents died. Yes, the mom is dead.
Yep.
A family business is at stake. Again, I gave this double points because both of the characters' businesses are at stake.
Oh man, yeah, no, I only gave it the 2 points.
2.
Yeah.
Main character's name is linked to Christmas. No. Rick and Julie are not linked. No female lead that has to choose between her fiance and a man she just met.
Nope.
Male or female leads major flaws. They don't do Christmas. Definitely not.
No, they very much do Christmas here.
Very much do Christmas. And 2 points because Christmas is not in the title.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 12 points for that category.
Oh, I've only got the 7. So this will be interesting to see how different we score this movie.
Santa appears. He does.
Mm-hmm.
For the Salvation Army.
Yes, he does.
Doesn't really do much, but he's there to get charity.
Yeah, he's there for an on-screen presence.
Yes.
Oversee everything from afar.
That's right. Main characters kiss in the snow. I don't think they did.
At the end.
Oh,
yes.
The snow?
Yes, because there was like 3 different endings to this movie. Okay. And so it was just kind of like, all right, come on. Where's the next ending? It felt like I was in the Lord of the Rings. Like it was just like, end already. But when they're leaving, I mean, it's digital snow. It's definitely some CGI'd snow, but they do kiss at the end in snow.
No sexy food fight.
Mm-mm.
No snowball fight.
Nope.
No supernatural element.
No,
And there were no, I would have thought for sure there would have been a Christmas Carol in this movie, but there was not.
I was really holding out. I thought for sure that somebody was going to sing.
So my total for this was 18.
Oh, I have 15.
Oh,
We're
we're
not
pretty
that far
close.
off.
We're
Okay.
pretty close.
Okay.
All right. Let's
So
run
now,
through our other reviews here.
yeah, what's your rating? How many sugar plums do you give this? 1 out of 5.
You know, Bear's performance was really good. Rick was passable. I
Mm-hmm.
thought the parents were also pretty good actors.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought pace-wise, the movie went by pretty quickly. So I'm going to give this 3.5 sugar plums out of 5.
Me too. I'm going to do the same score. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
All right.
For all the same reasons, basically. I think the only thing that's keeping it from getting a 4-star is the fact that every time I think about Papa Spruce, I just get mad. So 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
Now, would you give this as a gift? Which is to say, would you recommend it to someone?
Oh man, that's tough. Would I recommend it to somebody? I'm gonna have to say no because it's just so anticlimactic.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, all the Hallmark movies are, but this one seemed in particular anticlimactic.
I think I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Because there's most of it's good.
Yeah.
The ending sucks, but like most of it's good. So yeah, I think if you've got about 90 minutes to kill,
Yeah.
maybe if you've got like 75 minutes to kill, this is perfect. Because then you just don't watch the last like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because you know where it's going, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a happy ending, you're good. And then finally, well, where does this land on Santa's naughty list? Is it naughty or nice?
Oof. It just shows Santa as a charity shill. There's a touchy scene in the hay. There's talk of feuds and pranks, so I'm gonna have to put this on Santa's naughty list.
Santa's naughty list. Oh my goodness.
So. I think there's a lot of naughtiness in this movie.
There is some naughtiness.
Yeah.
You're right. You got a good argument there for it.
I don't know if it really has a Christmas spirit so much as it is like a rom-com.
Oh, good point.
It's like, you know how the other ones are all like very very Christmassy themed, and while this one does take place on a Christmas tree farm, it does seem way more like a romantic comedy with like a
Christmas backdrop.
As opposed to a Christmassy movie.
I think I would have to put on the nice list though. And I think it's because it is about letting go of hatred and bearing the hatchet and getting the fuck over yourself when somebody rejects you.
Yeah.
Don't hold that for 30 fucking years, you idiot.
5 years.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I hate that part. I like the movie. I hate that part of it. Maybe it is on the naughty list because fuck that guy.
Yeah. Papa Spruce is the worst.
Now,
yeah,
I might have to put this on the naughty list because how dare you try to pass on hatred as a value to your children?
Well, that's sort of what, Romeo and Juliet's about too, right?
True. Yeah.
Just hate for the sake of hate because your parents tell you to do it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to add I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say what I loved about oh shoot, Juliet's the Montague, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Juliet's father though is totally okay with Romeo being at his party, like in the beginning of the play.
Right.
Because Romeo's a good kid. He's like, oh well, you know what though? He's a nice boy. Like it's okay if he's here. Like whatever. It's a party. Yeah. We're having a festival. I don't give a shit. I'm drunk. I don't care. This guy's cool. Fine. He could be here. Chill. Whatever. Like it's everybody else that tries to like stoke fires and stuff. Like Tybalt is like really like the main. Anyway, yeah.
That was Paul Sorvino in the Baz Luhrmann one, right? Didn't Paul Sorvino play the dad?
Oh, dude, I don't know that version. Like, it gives me a headache every time.
Oh yeah, it is. It is a very loud version of Romeo and Juliet.
I'm like not a big fan of Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, I thought Moulin Rouge was the shits.
I hate that movie.
Yeah, it stinks.
I have never found anyone else who hated who didn't
Uh,
like it too. Oh my
yeah.
god, everyone loves it and I don't.
Just watch Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor overact. It's just so corny.
I forgot it was Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, and they're really good actors. I like Nicole
They
Kidman and Ewan
are.
McGregor, but Moulin Rouge
Yeah.
stinks. And it
The
came out
one
with that dumb song with Pink and the Voulez-vous coucher. That one came
okay,
out.
but I like the song though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
but
based on an older song.
yes,
They just
it
did a
is. Right,
remix of
right,
it,
yeah.
but like, yeah. But if you there's a Baz Luhrmann movie though that I do like because it kind of pokes fun at the fact that everybody's overreacting to everything small. Like it kind of makes fun of that in a very like I thought clever way. But Strictly Ballroom,
Oh, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
I recommend it because it's an adorable little rom-com
Okay.
and it's enjoyable to watch, and it's enjoyable to watch how like if you want to see people overacting because that's the joke is that they're
Oh, okay.
overreacting and overacting to things. Strictly Ballroom is definitely the movie. Like I think it's perfect.
I just checked out Promising Young Woman the other day, and it was really good.
Oh yeah. I saw your post about
With
that.
what's her face? Carrie Mulligan, I think is her name.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's really
Okay.
It's no
All right.
Spruces and Pines, but it makes a valiant effort. So I have a question. If you
Yes.
were driving down a road and you had to stop at the Spruce Farm or the Pine Farm, which one would you go to?
Whichever one I get to first, I guess.
Okay.
Like, how fast am I traveling? Do I notice the Spruces farm first? Am I intentionally going to the pine? Like, if I'm just driving down the street with the intention of buying a tree, it's just whichever one I come across first.
Yeah.
So if the Spruces were first, and if they had good signage that let me know that this was the entrance to their farm, then sure.
Okay.
So yeah, just whichever. What about you?
I would go definitely to the Spruce one because that's the one that's got the sit down tables and I can make a day out of it. You know, I can go up and have a little pastry and some hot chocolate and then go pick out my tree and
yeah.
So yeah, the Spruce Farm all day.
Definitely the better farm.
Yeah.
Worse owner, especially because he's having like all of these like private conversations in front of customers.
Yes.
Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
They're having these like serious private conversations in front of customers. Are you kidding me?
Papa Spruce gives no fucks.
Yeah, no, none.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, that brings this episode to a close. And we'll be back in a couple weeks to review another Hallmark holiday movie. But until then, we'll see you guys later. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.